Welcome all of you to our introduction to Fresh Ideas, a program where we match our chamber folks together as mentors and mentees. What I'd love to do is, I do have a presentation to go through that sort of outlines how the program is built. And before I do that, I'd love to do some quick introductions. So if you would very quickly introduce yourself, say your name, the company, obviously, or the organization that you're with, and then maybe just your interest in being on this call. Rick, would you start?
It's a nice program already, I can tell. I at one point I was president of the chamber, and then Dale kind enough to take that over, and that was great. So let's see, what can I say? Well, my company, I have a company, it's called Bold Steps Incorporated, and it's a myriad of things that I've been doing. So it's exciting, and it's exciting to see what you guys are doing with fresh ideas. I'm ashamed that I wasn't there sooner, but I'm looking forward.
No shame necessary. No shame. You're an ambassador as well, so we appreciate you being part of our Ambassadors Club. Thank you. Dr. Lederman.
How's it going, everybody? This is Dr. Joshua Lederman here with formerly known as McAndrews Chiropractic Clinic. I'm in the process of changing the name to Lederman Chiropractic and Sports Medicine to represent myself and my wife. So it's exciting, and it's also stressful, you know, changing the name in all these different arenas. But it's going to be really good eventually. And we haven't rolled out the new logo yet. Once we do, then we'll kind of get that out. And once everything's kind of set, I want to do like have Vicky maybe do just a chamber a monthly the Monday Matters.
Yes,
just kind of include it in there.
We have all kinds of ways to promote that, Dr. Joshua, including Monday Matters, social media. So all you have to do is let us know what the change is, and when you're ready, we will help announce that. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. And actually, the name change was inspired through the mentoring program.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so kind of
that's a great
Dale
testimony.
and Sandy kind of got me to start the process. So I can attest to the value of the mentoring program.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being part of it. John Robbins, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm John Robbins with awards and fine gifts and promotional products. We help corporations, associations, and nonprofits help recognize not only their employees, but their customers. It could be for the top sales guy, it could be for the best customers. If you want to give all your customers this year a beautiful pen, or if you want to be like the Chase Bank, my gosh, if you go into the Chase Bank today, every time you go in there, they give you away a free plastic pen.
What?
And it costs like 18 bucks. Or
what do they give? A plastic what?
A plastic pen.
Oh, wow.
Writing instrument.
Yeah.
We've got pens that are 60 cents that you can have on your counter at the office. So every time a customer comes in, they can take one home with them and remind themselves they have to call you for a weekly visit. So whether it's awards, gifts, it could be a realtor that's looking for a beautiful crystal vase to give to their customer after they close the sale, or a promotional item. So, and I'm always interested in new ideas, and that's why I'm here today, just to listen to what new ideas, because the whole world is, commerce is all being on the internet, and any new ideas I can do to keep my business going, because we're celebrating 35 years of being in business.
Yay. Send us a press release on that, John. That's exciting. Casey, introduce yourself to us.
Am I unmuted?
You're unmuted now.
Awesome. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Casey Mulcair. I'm an Allstate agency owner here in North Wheaton. We are just south of Geneva and Main Street near the Wheaton Eye Clinic. We've been in business for, well, be 12 years this summer. Glen Ellen resident, Wheaton Chamber member for a long time.
Yes.
And we do home, auto, life, retirement, commercial insurance. And I've got a fun, friendly staff of 5. Some of them are remote. Most of us are here. It's good to be back in the office after that crazy pandemic, which is not quite done, but it's just good to see people. And I'm curious about new and interesting ideas. My wife works with me in the agency. She's much more open to change around marketing and electronic marketing. And she said, you should go do this. And I said, you know what? I already got the email. I already registered. So that's how cutting edge I
So
am.
there.
So yeah.
That's
Right.
great, Casey.
So
Thank you so much.
I
I do have you on my call list.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you. So
Thank
I'm
you.
looking for those new and inspirational ideas, or willing to give any ideas that we have as well too. So excited to be part of this group. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Donna Teagle.
Well, I'm Donna Teagle. My company is Floor Coverings International, and I operate a shop-at-home floor covering service. So I travel to people's homes and small businesses by appointment, help them out with their floor covering needs. I started in business in 1997, primarily as doing restoration work for floor coverings after fires and floods, and expanded my business pretty quickly to, as my insurance customers like to call it, do you work with normal people, Donna? I'm like, yes. So been working with normal people probably for 20 plus years as well, out of my 20 some years of business. So just loved it.
I would have to counter that, Donna, because I worked with you.
Right. So I've been a chamber member only 6 months less than I've been in business. So recognize that need very quickly, and have grown my business successfully through the help of the chamber as well. So
Thank you so much. And we're honored to have you as an ambassador as well. Miguel Mona Freitas of Mona Freitas Photography.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Miguel. I'm a fine art dance and portrait photographer based here in Wheaton. Joined the chamber back in September. I'm a champion. I'm a mentee. The main role here is I'm the hopefully soon graduating class of the first class.
Yes.
And my mentor just joined. Jeff
Yes, just joined on the call.
So happy to be here. And then I've also been part of the headshot days of the chamber. So if we've had a couple times now, a couple events where we do headshots.
Very
Right at the chamber.
generous. Thank you so much. Dale, would you like to introduce yourself as our president of the Ambassadors Club and the person who got this program up and running?
Hi, I'm Dale Showalter. Started Showalter Roofing about 42 years ago. Still up and running, do all kinds of roofing. I've been looking at people's backgrounds and I'm thinking maybe I should put a roof behind me.
That's a great idea. Or maybe you should do this all from up on the roof.
Yeah, maybe do that. You know, Rick's got his signs behind him and Dr.
Right.
Josh got that stuff. And
Yeah.
anyway, I have been on the chamber board. I've been the chairman of the board. I'm now an ambassador and chairman of the ambassadors. And we're here to greet new members and to help our existing members to go deeper and to bring a benefit through this program to helping people grow their business and solve problems.
Thank you, Dale, and thank you for your guidance through this program. Michelle Watkins, happy to have you on the call. Would you introduce yourself?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle Watkins. I am the Executive Director of Abundant Children and Family Service Agency. And what we are is a social service agency.
Uh-oh, you just hit your mute button.
Sorry about that. That was a call.
Okay. That's all right.
We provide food, clothes, and emergency financial assistance to families that are in need.
Thank you so much, Michelle. We're glad you're on the call. And Jeffrey James, my longtime friend and colleague and graphic designer.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm late. I accepted the invitation to join, but I didn't realize I had to register. So I reached out to my mentee and said, send me the Zoom link. and he was able to find me.
Happy to you.
Yeah. So anyway, Jeff James, my company is Aspire to Communications, and I originally came to the chamber through a lovely lady who met me at an event and said, "You have to be a member," and it was Vicki Austin. And we've been friends ever since.
We have, and we've been each other's clients.
That's right. That too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We're glad you're part of this. I was just going to ask Doris to introduce herself, but I think she went to, answer the door. Someone's here. I hope it's food. No, it's not food. I would like, it's our mail. I think it's our mailman. I would like Doris to introduce herself. While she's answering the door, I'll introduce myself, Vicki Austin, longtime chamber member and honored now to be president and CEO of the chamber, and in partnership here with Doris Barrera, who can introduce herself now.
Back.
Yeah.
The mailman?
No, somebody was at the door.
Okay.
Not us. Not
Is
us.
it
No, so I'm Doris Barrera. I'm the administrative assistant here. Do a lot of the behind the scenes things. Like that's why you guys all got your Zoom calls, except for Jeff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm resourceful.
personal? It wasn't personal.
Yep.
Well, great. This is a great group. And what I'd like to do is go through some of I've got a brief slide deck, nothing too painful, PowerPoint. I'll share that with you. And then we have people on this call who are both mentors and mentees. So for those of you who are considering the program, we've got people here who can talk a little bit more about it. So if I may share with you, an introduction to fresh ideas. And usually I can see this also. Let's see. Okay, so first of all, a little bit of history. This was actually the result of the Ambassador Club refining and redefining its mission. While the Ambassadors Club has always been the sort of the frontline welcoming group of people. Ambassadors Club, by the way, is made up of people who have served in leadership roles or on the board or in leadership roles, who've come off their tenure in a leadership position and want to stay involved with the chamber. So they continue to welcome members, and they also identified additional opportunity to deepen relationships through many ways, one of which is a mentoring program. So because I'm so nerdy and a bookworm, I had to share the background of why do we use the word mentor? It's become a verb to mentor someone. Actually, it goes back to Telemachus, who was the son of Odysseus, was tutored by mentor. When Odysseus went off to war, he asked this older, wiser gentleman named Telemachus named Mentor, to take care of his son and make sure his son Telemachus was brought up, because he was going off to war and couldn't be there for him as a father. So he was a father figure in a sense. It's also a model for passing on wisdom, and it's based on a trusted relationship. The goal of our program was first to provide support for our member businesses with guidance and support. Mentoring programs should be something that obviously supports and uplifts our members, both the mentor and the mentee. Also, it's an opportunity for members to share their wisdom and expertise with others. We do have members like Donna, like Dale, who have been in business for many, many years. You learn a lot when you're in business that long, and that's knowledge and expertise, wisdom that you can share with others. Also, one of our goals is to foster relationships that can contribute to your business and professional growth. So what we found, not surprisingly, is that both mentors and mentees report that they felt that there was a value in terms of business and professional growth. So just because you're a mentor instead of a mentee doesn't mean that you don't have an opportunity to learn. This is how we built the program, and shout out to Donna Teagle, who was my cohort in crime as we looked for models to develop this program. It was really, we wanted to create a structure so that people knew what to expect, which is, again, is part of the reason for this introduction, is you don't have to commit to being part of the program today. You can just learn about it. We would invite members to participate. Also, we designed it so that we can support both the mentors and the mentees through the process. We've had regular check-in visits and we had a group call. So, and then our role at the chamber is to help manage any concerns along the way. And I can't say that in this first round, we really had any, maybe there might've been some scheduling things, but that's really between the mentor and the mentee. So here's our timeline. Today's our introduction. We're going to keep our application portal open through the end of the month. So through May 31st, people can apply, and there's a link on our website. If you go to our website, there's a place on there for fresh ideas. Click on there, and then you can find your mentor or mentee application. Then the ambassadors will do the matching. Actually, looking at the applicants, we had an exact fit last time. I don't know how it will be for, this is class number 2, so I don't know what that's going to look like, but the ambassadors will make the matches. It's kind of like match day with medical school, right? We're going to match you up, and the mentors and the mentees will be connected on June 18th. Then we'll have another presentation like this where we'll go through the logistics of how, getting a little more granular about how it works. And that'll be your orientation if you choose to be part of the program. So what's expected of you if you're a mentor? First of all, the minimum expectation is only 1 hour per month for 6 months. And that's kind of a formula, right? 1 hour a month for 6 months. That's really all that's expected. If you want to meet more often, that's between you and your mentee or mentor. But this is sort of a recommended, maybe having a getting acquainted meeting and then launching into 1 hour meetings for 6 months. Also, the job of the mentor, and this is really sometimes hard to do, but we want to fix things, right? We want to offer suggestions. The role of the mentor is really to listen and really listen deeply, ask good questions. As Dale Showalter has said about this program and about the role of the ambassadors, deepen that relation through listening and only offer an opinion when asked. Or you may ask something like, and anybody who's been through marriage counseling knows, it may be asking the question, what do you need from me? Do you need suggestions or do you just want to be heard? And then the responsibilities of the mentee, the person who steps into the role of the mentee. Actually, it's up to the mentee to do the scheduling. And we did this on purpose. This is designed this way on purpose. Part of the joy and the evolution of being a mentee is that you learn to take initiative and to, schedule that appointment. For some people, that may be a radical thing. Here we have one of our mentors walking in the door. So it's up to the mentee to schedule that hour. Be willing to meet at least once a month for 6 months. Again, just the same as the mentor, 1 hour a month for 6 months. And then this class graduates in December. Share your questions. It's important to be transparent. It's important. If you're going to have a mentor, you can ask them questions. We ask people to hold this relationship in confidence. So, if you want to share about financials or if you have questions about how to work financials, again, that's going to be based on the trust level between the mentor and the mentee. Here's something that I think is really important is for the mentee also to listen and to take notes. I've noticed in some of the conferences where I've spoken in the last couple of years that maybe people take notes on their phone but there's something about the process of taking notes that I think really helps us remember things. And it also demonstrates to the mentor that you're listening. So I think taking notes is important. And then report back what you learned. If your mentor gives you a homework assignment, let him or her know, how did it go? Here's what it isn't. And as most of you know, I am a positive, cockeyed optimist and don't like to focus on the negative. However, there are some pitfalls, potential pitfalls, when it comes to being a mentor or being mentored. And one is people might see it as free, either coaching, counseling, therapy, whatever. It's not that. This is not intended. So for instance, if the mentor is an accountant, the mentee should not expect to be coached on accounting. They should hire them for that. It also is, it's an advisory capacity. So nothing that's shared, it always goes back to whatever is shared is simply an idea, and not, holding people saying, well, you told me to do that and I did it, and now I'm in ruin, racked in ruin. No, it's an advisory capacity, and both parties take responsibility for that. It also isn't, it isn't an advisory capacity. Sorry, that I was getting carried away there. It isn't an advisory capacity in the sense that you would hire a consultant. So again, it's ideas, not advice. And it is not a commitment or an obligation to use someone's services. So no one should go into this relationship thinking, well, maybe I'll get that person as a client or a customer. That may happen, but if it does, that's kismet, right? Or serendipity. It's not really intended to be a business building strategy. It's intended to be a strategic business relationship that will help people grow and learn and ultimately succeed in their businesses. So here's what success looks like. The relationships are forged and strengthened. Both parties learn from each other, and we learn that. I have some quotes in our slides about what some of the mentors learned, which was, they were sort of surprised they learned as much or more, perhaps. And then each walks away with new insights that contribute to their businesses and their lives. So it also looks like mentors help the mentees connect to other people. Dale and Joshua, Dr. Joshua, have a good story of where when Joshua asked questions that were outside of Dale's expertise, he brought in other people that he knew into their mentoring call to introduce them and share both people and resources. And then again, introductions to others, which expands the mentees world. And it may work, the other way too. So at this point, I'd like to stop and ask some of our participants. I'm actually going to stop sharing for a moment and ask some of our participants who've already been part of the program to talk a little bit. Oh, I see Deb Brown has joined us. You must be in your car, Deb. She was just in here. We're happy to have you, Deb Brown. Do you want to introduce yourself very quickly?
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yep. Can you hear us? Oh, we've lost Deb. Are there any participants in this program who would like to share a little bit about your experience?
I'm late to the meeting because I was meeting with my mentee.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Deb, do you want to introduce yourself quickly for some of the folks who may not know you?
Okay, can you hear me okay?
We can now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Deb Brown. I have been around the chamber for a long time. I'm currently with Town Square Publications, which is a division of Daily Herald. We are currently the publisher of choice for the Wheaton Chamber Directory. And
that is correct. And we lost her again. Okay, I'm going to open it up then to our participants.
It's a great way to enhance your membership, to become truly a team member on both sides of this relationship. And you are part of a team. So it's been great, especially during this time period, to be part of this program.
So glad. Thank you, Deb. So there's our first testimonial. Anyone else want to share a little bit about your experience? I also have some quotes that I want to share from our, we did a meeting with both we did a meeting with the mentors, and I did a meeting with the mentees. And so I have some other things to share.
Well, I'll share that during the pandemic, when we've been so isolated, it has been a joy to connect with somebody and to really connect, right? To spend a little time talking and sharing about business and life. And Miguel and I, I'm sure it's not a coincidence, but we do share creative type of businesses. So there are unique challenges to being in a creative business. So it's just been a refreshing reminder of some of those challenges, and, not commiserating, but just, sharing. So it's just been great. It's a great way to stay connected to the chamber and to what the core chamber is helping each other out. So I really appreciate the structure of the program and how it's gone, and enjoyed getting to know Miguel. So
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. This is Miguel. So I'm a mentee, as you just heard, and I've really enjoyed. So only a few months into joining the chamber, and close to 4 years of being on my own as a sole proprietor. So changed careers from corporate to having my own business. So it was a big change. And then I think joining the chamber has really given me opportunity to meet many people with years of entrepreneurship, and then working with Jeff also on the creative side. We have a lot of things in common. And so we can discuss some ideas and some approaches, and obviously learning from his experience and many years in business has been very, very valuable. And as of yesterday, when we had our latest meeting, we're actually planning to meet for our last one in person. So we'll
yes, that'll be our own graduation.
Yeah, that's going to be our own celebration. So we haven't picked a place yet because it depends when, but I'm excited to meet Jeff in person as well.
That is great. That is great. How about you, Dr. Joshua? Do you want to share a little bit?
Yeah, it's been a great experience. Dale, I've gotten to know Dale better too, just from a business to business standpoint. It's been great to know, get to know him better through this process. And yeah, just kind of staying in touch with someone in the chamber during this pandemic, and then bouncing off ideas, and then him bringing in experts on various topics to augment all the knowledge he has. It's been incredibly valuable.
Great. That is great. Dale, did you want to say something?
I did. When I first, I was kind of holding back about whether I would be a mentor or not. And then we needed somebody. And so, I got paired up with Josh. And I go, okay, he's a doctor and he wants to know about marketing. I'm a roofer and I don't know anything about marketing. But the thing that I appreciate about Josh is that he, no matter, what we talked about, he took notes, and the next time we came back, he reported on it. He made lots of progress throughout the course of the 6 months and so, and just really proud of the way he stepped up. I mean, we talked our last meeting, and I think Sandy Skavinsky brought up the fact that, why do you have McAndrews as your name? And I wondered the same thing because, and he says, what do I think? Well, it's Showalter Roofing. What do you think? I think. And so,
it's that simple.
So next thing I know, a few weeks later, I'm looking on the chamber website, and there's this announcement that he's changing the name. And I go, this guy doesn't let any moss grow under his feet. I'll tell you, he keeps moving. So it's been fun to work with somebody who just takes everything you bring to the table and starts using it. So that's great. So appreciate you.
That is wonderful. Donna, did you want to share anything? I know your mentee is not on the call, but you're here to share.
Yeah, so my mentee was Catherine Bach from Two Junipers Massage Studio, and she was really at this tipping point with her business, and then COVID. I mean, come on, a massage studio with COVID. So it was just really a great time, and she had a new chamber member. She really jumped in very well, and again, very similar to Dale's experience. I would suggest something to her, and she'd go out and figure it out. And I think that it was exciting to watch how she embraced everything and would call people. And, we didn't get to meet as much as we wanted to, but I think she would say that it was beneficial. I don't know that she would say that everything that my personal knowledge, but the whole environment of the mentor mentee and then being able to refer her to people was really, I think, what spoke to her. And I did challenge her in a couple of things, and she did very well with going, oh, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
It's a great experience, and it's fun to work with somebody who's new in their business again, because it's been so long for me. So
That is great. Well, I think that gift of time is really so valuable. I'm going to share with you all some of the testimonials or the feedback that we got when I interviewed the mentees. Here's some of the things that the mentor or the mentees said. It's lovely having a place to go to talk with a professional and surround yourself with other business owners. That is invaluable. And I will say, if you'll forgive a personal aside, when I joined the chamber as a business owner, that was really my intention, was to learn from other business owners, because I knew nothing about it. I had never had my own business. So it's, having that, again, someone to talk with. Another mentee said, I feel blessed to be part of this and lucky to have my mentor there. That relationship is really important. He's given me more homework than I have for work. One mentee said, you feel like you have an ally, that you're not alone. And I think that's, again, a feeling of when you're an entrepreneur, especially a solopreneur, one person shop or just with a couple of people, it is easy to feel alone. And another mentee said, this gives me someone to turn to who has objectivity. And Donna, what you just shared is a perfect example. It's like another idea. Oh, I never thought of that. But you're objective about the business. Someone committed to that time together to discuss what's important to me. And again, within the confines of this is the business, relationship, having that person who is there, who's committed that time. It's only I sound like a telethon. It's only 1 hour per month. Another mentee said, and this is actually Dr. Joshua, my mentor brought in outside experts who helped me with specific needs, and his website improved overnight. And then another said, this gives me a different set of eyes on my business. She encouraged partnerships, and that's working. One said, the value is really in the connection. So to call. I've had some big projects this year, and my mentor is helping me learn to say no. So that is really important. When you're first in business, it seems like you have to, take all comers, but the longer you're in business, the more you learn. I think we learn to distinguish between the things that are, a good investment of our time and not so much. Also, mentors ask good questions. She says, what's your concern? What are you working on? And that helps and motivates this particular mentee. Our mentors said they're grateful to have an opportunity to stay connected. And one really liked Zoom because it lessens the travel time. We did get kudos for the fact that there's structure to the program. And again, it's very simple, modest structure, but it's designed to, have flexibility for the mentor and the mentee. And then this mentor said, I always enjoy our time together. One mentor was astonished that her mentee interviewed her, and she felt like she, learned as much by having the tables turned as anything. And then again, when my mentees, needed things I couldn't help with, I brought in someone who could. So with that, I'd like to open this up to questions. You can visit our website to learn more about it. Fill in the application by the end of May. Matches will be announced in mid-June, and we will reach out to you. Before I take questions, let me just close with some credits. The Ambassadors Club is really the developer and sponsor of this program. Dale Showalter as our fearless president. And then we had a mentor advisory delegate, or MAD group, Deb Brown, Sandy Skabinski, and Donna Teagle. So thanks to those of you who helped. So questions from those of you who either are part of the program now, or those of you who are considering being part of the program. And I see Lulu, you have joined us. I'm so glad.
Hello, everyone.
Great to see you. You want to introduce yourself quickly? Because we all did.
Yes, good afternoon. Lulu Hartenstein with the Forest Reserve District of DuPage County. So great to see you here, because this is an outstanding program that I'm just feel so privileged to have been part of. Continue
thank you so
I'm not
much.
done.
And you have been a contribution as well. So any questions or any other comments from some of our, yes, Casey?
Okay. Program sounds great. I had a couple of questions.
Sure.
Sounds like a lot is covered in the hour-long sessions. Do you provide a template of talk paths or things to cover, or is it very open and a free-form kind of approach?
Funny you should mention that. One of the suggestions from our mentees was that we develop some kind of a formal, or maybe not formal, that's the wrong word, a structured curriculum, so that there are core competencies that the mentor can help the mentee cover. So that is sort of in, I guess I'd say that's in development right now. And maybe your class, if you were in class number 2, your class could be the model or the help develop that.
Okay. That's helpful. And then the other question I had is, I'm definitely going to do it. I could see myself doing one or the other.
Yeah.
Obviously can't do it at the same time because I've been trying to mentor myself for years and that doesn't work. But what would you recommend going in as a mentee, or maybe somebody on the call has some feedback, going as a mentee or going as a mentor first, which would be better? What advice do you or anybody else have?
Dale, I'm going to buff and turf that question to you.
Yeah, I think that if you have experience that you think would help younger folks, I would probably start there because I think that you seem to be a gentleman that has some experience and some maturity, so those are always welcome. And I'd like to address your other thing about the core competencies. Most people, when they apply as a mentee, will share what they're struggling with or some areas that they need expertise. So it's not hard to start up by just saying this is what we'll work on first. And then as you get into that person's business, you find out there are other areas that may be lacking. Or, there are obvious things if you are a mentor, about finances and marketing and managing people and all of those kind of things that you can bring up as it goes on. So a mentor is not out there in the dark trying to figure out what we talked about next, but it's usually the listening aspect of the mentee and trying to figure out what's behind that question. If it's not a business question, it could be something else. So so that's just my thoughts on that.
Sure, that's good. Thank you. Okay.
I would add to that, Casey, if there is something that you have in mind business-wise that you'd love advice on, then do the mentee. If there's nothing really that has been brewing in your mind lately, then go for mentor. That's just my thought.
Okay, that's good.
I want to acknowledge you for asking the question, though, because it demonstrates what I call, which is, I'm stealing it from the Zen beginner's mind, the fact that you would be willing to be either speaks volumes about your ability and your willingness to be, to continue learning. And it was Sandy Skabinski, and I asked her permission to share this. She was shocked at how, she said she's a mentor, and she said, she came in here one day and we had a quick conversation, and she said, I was surprised how much I know. Like it's not until, if you're busy, plowing through your business, sometimes you don't stop to think how much you've learned. And for her, it was really a joy to realize that she really did have, she was very humble when she began as a mentor, wasn't sure if she'd have anything to contribute, but she was delighted to know that she had a lot of experience to contribute. And in the same way, we've had people with a lot of experience who did become mentors because there was an area of their business that they wanted to grow, that they felt like, they were beginners.
Yeah. Although I don't have any burning questions at this point, my logic was going in as a mentee, I would then know how the mentee feels if I was to transition to a mentor role.
That's a great, yeah.
Address it from that perspective. I've walked in their shoes.
Yes, that is a great idea. Jeff, did you want to say something? You looked like you had a wonderful idea. No?
You're muted, Jeff.
Mute. Yes, sorry. No, I didn't have anything particular. I mean,
Okay.
I do think it's a great way to, there's probably going to be more younger people that are looking to be encouraged on how to incorporate and use the chamber. So I kind of view it as that as a great opportunity to get to know younger and newer members.
Yeah, and also when we say younger, it may not be age, it may be
Right.
Like Michelle
Right.
has a brand new business, a brand new not-for-profit. Miguel's business isn't that old, right? 4 years, is that right, Miguel? 4 years. So it's more like the age of the business and the growing pains that we have, with our businesses as they go from, from new to into maturity. The other thing I would say, Casey, going back to your particular case is because Allstate has such a strong brand, I can't imagine that you don't have wonderful ideas for branding, for helping people brand, because it's, and that's just one element of being a mentor, but you've got this whole stockpile of what you've learned as being an agent. Is that correct? The title, your word would be an agent?
And unmute me. Yes. Agent.
An owner, agent owner. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd also like to pick up on something that we talked about with Casey when we were talking about Sandy, saying that she didn't think that she had that much to offer. And I was hesitant to bring Sandy in to talk with Dr. Joshua because I know what Sandy's business is, and I know he really wouldn't be interested in doing the kind of marketing that she does. But she came on, she was energetic, she brought creative ideas, and then dropped the bomb. Why is your name McAndrews Chiropractic? Why isn't it Lou? I mean, you just never know.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
It is very cool. Well, it's the imprint, that you get a chance to help imprint, somebody's business. Miguel?
Yeah, I was curious. And why is the name that, Dr. Joshua?
Yeah, so I took over an existing business that in March 2019, and so I wanted to keep the name for a while to just kind of have that continuity for patients. But then there was that, when is the right time? When is the right time? And it's like you're kicking the can down the road.
Yep,
and I needed someone with. That's the nice thing about Sandy coming on there. No agenda, just giving her honest opinion from a marketing perspective. It's not consistent to have. McAndrews and Lederman. What's going on here?
Yeah.
And so that was super beneficial.
Right. Thank you. I'll be ready for the pop quiz when Vicky has one. I know the answer. I know the answer now. I'll be ready for your pop quiz later on.
Also, it's doubly important because he's in practice with his wife, who is also a Dr. Lederman. So Lederman's all over the place there. Other questions?
Hey, I had a question.
Sure.
You guys created this environment, which is fantastic. I'm wondering if other chambers have wish they had what you guys have, or is it sort of well known that it's the right thing to do across other chambers? How did this come to start where you have this momentum going, and I applaud you for that, but what got that started? What were you needing to put that in place? Why did you have that?
Dale, would you like to answer that?
I mean, what was the problem?
I can. I'm sure there's more reasons than why we headed down that road, but other chambers do have mentoring programs. And as the ambassadors, we talked about this, for years. And we just never really thought about getting something off the ground until COVID hit, and right before that, and thinking, what can we offer to our members that would help deepen relationships and deepen to get people connected in a way that's not just see you at an event. And this is what I do for my business, but to get into the place of saying, everybody, for me personally, let me tell you why I have a passion for it, is I was a roofer since 1979, and people came up within my business and wanted supervisory roles. And so I had to step out of working in the business to working what you often hear on the business. And I knew how to be a roofer, but I didn't know how to be a businessman. So I had to figure out, how do I do all this other stuff? How do I do marketing? How do I do, HR wasn't a big deal back then, but nowadays, if you're not in human resources, you're sunk, because there's so many rules and regulations that weren't there in 1979. But so I had to learn all this stuff, and I didn't have a mentor. So I had to pay for an organization that was called the Alternative Board that helped me for 9 years to make the transition from being a roofer to being a businessman. So that's where that came from within me, that there's got to be other people in business thinking, boy, I wish I could ask somebody this question, or I wish somebody would trust me, and I could trust enough to say, I have this problem. Could you help me with it? Or what have you done? How have you handled that issue? So that's the roots of it. But then we started looking at other chambers. We started looking at other mentor programs, and we just wanted to keep it simple and not make it a big, overwhelming, burdensome program, but something that's easy, and just invite people into it and see how it goes. And certainly it went far above and beyond our expectations.
Now, Donna, would you like to tell the real story?
I shouldn't say we. I was supposed to research a structure for this program, and I ran across this. The detail involved in the structure of this mentee mentor program was phenomenal. It was unbelievable how much work somebody had put into this, and it was just something that we definitely needed to steal. And Vicki and I were going over it. We found out that it was a mentor-mentee program for juvenile delinquents. So, yes. So that was the basis of how we decided to approach this strong business structured community mentor-mentee program. Yeah.
Perfect model for all y'all.
And not just juvenile delinquents, but prison-based.
Right. Incarcerated juveniles.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
so you're welcome.
We didn't know it until I asked what the initials stood for, and then I had to research the initials. So
knowing that, I can offer enhanced or fine art mugshots.
And we get pictures of you standing in front of the lines and then like this. Pardon me. Yeah, so thank you, Dale. That was it was a long time in brewing, but until we put the bones on it, so to speak, the structure to it, and then we were able to offer it in a way that is palatable, right? This isn't intended to be onerous to any of you, whether you're a mentor or a mentee, but it is a joy and it is an investment. And again, just like teaching, I found when I did some teaching, I learned more as a teacher just because I had to put the curriculum, I had to put the program together, whatever. So I think mentors, while they come to this program with, wonderful hearts towards service, towards being of service to other chamber members, they also benefit and learn just along the way. I wonder if any of you could speak to the timing issue. Is 1 hour a month, has that been pretty doable? And I don't know if there are others who maybe have done more than that, met more than that. And then I'd love to, I'm looking at my clock on the wall is wrong. I'd love to hear maybe from some of you who are in the program how we should celebrate our class 1 graduation. And then we could talk more about class 2 during the orientation. So has the 1 hour per month worked?
Yeah, this is Miguel. I think, 1 hour has been just spot on.
Ideal, yeah.
I agree with Miguel. 1 hour, we all have all kinds of other commitments and stuff.
Right.
It feels like it's you're getting the value of it but you're not feeling like your schedule is being affected by it. And you could always, depending on the mentor-mentee relationship, you can always add on, but that 1 hour baseline is good. And it gives you time to try to implement some of the things you discussed.
Yes.
Mhm.
Anyone else want to share?
As far as the timing goes, it really has been great. And I actually wanted to say to Dale and of course, everyone in the chamber too, and the mentors that are here, I think this was such a timing, blessing really, because with the disconnect of being present in our businesses and organizations, this really provided a beautiful platform to connect and to learn. And just as Joshua and Miguel have said, the 1 hour timing was great just because it was a very intentional meeting. I mean, after maybe a quick, how you're doing, 1 2-minute conversation, it was right into business, at least for me, but it obviously was for everyone else too. So that really allowed that timing to be just very targeted in whatever the topic was for that day, for that particular month. So
That is great, Lulu. And I know Marty's apologized that he couldn't be on the call today, but Lulu, is it okay if I share that you were the one who said that he gave you more homework than your work?
Absolutely, he did. I'm still doing it. So, but it's all good. Of course, these things are impacting my everyday business too, and it's been good. I mean, it just helps me be refocused on some, with some new fresh ideas. Really, that's what it has been. So, definitely.
Such a generous connection too. I mean, it's such a generous way for people to connect with no strings. The idea that it's not to build your business, it's to learn. And when you learn how to build your business, right? It's sort of that teach a man to fish analogy. It's not transactional. It really is relational. And you can always come back to your mentor and ask questions long after you've graduated. So what should we do for graduation, folks? We're going to have graduation in June for class number 1.
I say we go all out to celebrate the kids.
I'm with her.
See, there we go. I think so.
It's in the budget.
I just affirmed her. Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever you can afford, let's do it.
We could meet at the park. I sit here in my office at the chamber and see that beautiful Adams Park. It's just gorgeous.
I think it would be great to meet outside and just get lunch from some chamber member, bring in snack lunch and just sit around and talk. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. And maybe in the interest of this conversation, this meeting, maybe the recruits or the new applicants for the program can join us and we can sort of do a passing of the baton.
Perfect.
Just because you've been a mentor or a mentee doesn't mean you have to continue with the program. I hope that was understood. It's complete. At the end of 6 months, it's complete. If you choose to switch roles or if you choose to apply, put in an application again, let us know. We'd love to, keep you in the program if you want to stay in it, but there's no obligation. Just want you to know that.
Perfect.
Hey, I just like to say that, you guys are giving me credit, but Donna and Deb Brown and Sandy, we spent, and along with our fearless leaders, spent a lot of Tuesday mornings on Zoom talking about this. And so they get a lot more credit than I do. I just showed up. They talked.
You held the torch for us, Dale. That was important. And you weren't willing to let it go. I think that was important too. Like you said earlier, it's something we've been talking about for years and never got off the ground. So it takes a lot of devotion, volunteer time and devotion to get something like this off the ground. So thank you all so much. It's a joy. Rick, were you suggesting that we package this and sell it to other chambers?
Price is right, but
I know, right?
no, it's one of those things that comes up, and it's just it wasn't like a lot of management and so forth. You're all professional people, and I don't know about other chambers, but most chambers would probably have certain things, but the fresh idea thing and extensions of that, pretty amazing. Don't forget, my twin brother is a patent attorney, so we'll make sure that they don't get the fresh ideas.
Okay, good. I'll work with you on that. Be protected. Casey, you had asked a question before about this, whether there's a booklet or some kind of curriculum. One of the ideas that came up, and I think we have Dr. Joshua to thank for it, was this idea of core competencies. And out of that came a conversation about a project we did many years ago called Chamber University, which would actually be, classes and workshops, kind of like a leadership academy. And that's when Rick asked that question, a lot of chambers offer leadership academies that this could easily morph into sort of a launching pad for a class in the Leadership Academy. And I'll be doing some research on that with other chambers in the coming year. So stay tuned.
Okay.
We're at 11:57. Would you all like to break for lunch? And you can all go enjoy your lunch. I've been riding my bike, as if you got to the end of Monday Matters, we have something we're calling the Quarantine Curbs Challenge. So if business is doing anything to help those of us who perhaps might have, how shall we say, gotten a little fluffier over the COVID year, let us know. In fact, that's a health opportunity. So let us know what you're offering for keeping members healthy.
Hey, Vicki, one other quick thing is that
Yes.
we're meeting on Memorial Park, in the auditorium or whatever you call it. And they're very open to letting other people use it. So I know if you're doing a big fancy graduation, Bernard, you guys know him, probably would be okay. If you want to do it there.
Great. That's a great idea. You're outside, you're out on the Lions Plaza?
Yep.
Okay, well, we would give Lions Plaza a big deal too. The Lions roar.
Paris.
Thank you all very much. And kudos to the mentors and mentees who are already part of the program. Michelle, Casey, I think John, Rick, those of you who haven't been part of the program, if you have questions, give me a call, and I may just refer you to another one of the folks who are mentors or mentees.
Very good. Thank you. Good job. Appreciate it.
Enjoy your afternoon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.